Okay guys, going to show you how to do quick tracking. So what we're going to do is set up a new song, right? So we're going to go in here, click song, and you want to go new. Okay, click new. Select your quality, so we'll go with 16-bit track. If you go with 16-bit track, you'll get 32 tracks available, but if you go with the 24-bit, which is down here, it's probably blurry, but if you go with the 24, you're only going to get 16 tracks instead of the 32 to do your mixing with. Okay, so we're going to take that track, and now you got a track. Okay, and you're just going to select, so you've got your guitar plugged in, right? Now I've got drums set up on the back, so if I wanted to record a single track like a guitar, right, I could just go click here, make sure it's red. What you want to do first though is just go hit your master button, okay, and you want to keep tapping master until you get green all the way across. Okay, and then these buttons will not be lit. Okay, if you click master, now you're working with your master track, so you don't use the master until you're done your bass tracks, right? Then you go back in and you set up your master track, but I'll show you that later. So what you want to do is make sure all these are green, okay, and you select the tracks you want to use. So we'll just say hypothetically, right, I was recording my drum tracks, which would be 2 through 8, and you can set them up the way you want, but this is consistently how I have it set up on my system, right? This will be a track that I'll use track 1 to bounce information, so I'll copy, like I'll record something and then I'll bounce that off to another track, and I'll show you that later too. So basically you just select the tracks you want to use to record, okay? Right, so you've got your tracks, they're all red, and then you come over here and you hit the little red button which arms the track, okay, and then you hit play, and now you're recording. It's not bouncing anymore, it's solid red. Okay, so you know that these tracks are recording, right? And up here, this button will tell you you're using your tracks 1 through 16, okay? You can click onto this one, which will take you to 17 through 32, and as you notice, all these tracks went green. That's because we haven't armed tracks 17 through 32. Okay, so I'll click this one back to 1 through 16, and what you'll see is all those tracks come back on red. Okay, so that just tells you that these tracks from 1 to 16 are being recorded, and that on this side 17 through 32 are not being recorded at this time. However, you could easily do that just by how I showed you when you set your red ones. You just select the tracks you want to record. It's kind of redundant. I use those tracks 17 through 32. I'll bounce tracks from 1 through 16 over to here. Vocal tracks I usually chuck on the back, right, and I multi-track it. We'll get to that later. So you're recording, right, and then you'll see that the number is still going up, which means you're recording, and the amount of time, your song title, right, so you can actually change the title just by clicking rename, right, and then you go in here and you name it, click OK, you're done, right, and then you can go back out and just click OK, right. So when you're done your recording, you can press stop, right, and then you go back over here, you turn these tracks off because you want to be able to hear your playback, right, and then you can rewind the track, and then you press play, right, so you can actually hear, there was a mic on somewhere, probably on the drums, but that's the gist of it. Okay, so we'll continue on from there, but that's basically single tracking and multi-tracking. Very simple.